Hello, we shall be discussing on the chemical coordination and its integration. In this chapter, we shall discuss on how various organs in our body communicates and provide point-to-point interactions with each others. So, in order to continuously regulate the functionings of various functions in the body, a special kind of chemicals called as hormones are produced. Now, these chemicals called hormones are produced from a special type of gland called as endocrine gland. So this endocrine gland secretes or produce these hormones and release them directly into the bloodstreams, which carries them to the target organ. So these endocrine gland are also called as ductless gland. Now we shall discuss on human endocrine system. The first endocrine gland we shall discuss is the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part of a forebrain, and this hypothalamus controls wide spectrum of human body. Now, this hypothalamus controls a wide spectrum of human body functions. Now, this hypothalamus contains a group of neurosecretory cells called as the nuclei that produce hormones. So these neurosecretory cells refers to those cells which produce the various type of nerve impulses. Now, these neurosecretory cells produce hormones, and this hormone released from the neurosecretory cells of the hypothalamus controls the functionings of pituitary gland in the body. Now, there are two types of hormones which are produced by the hypothalamus. The first one is the releasing hormone, and the second is the inhibiting hormone. So releasing hormone are those hormones which induce the secretions or which induce the release of pituitary hormones, and the second is the inhibiting hormones. These inhibiting hormone are those hormones which are produced from the hypothalamus, and it inhibits the secretion of hormones from the pituitary gland of the body. Now let's take an example of releasing hormones and inhibiting hormone. Now the first one is gonadotrophin releasing hormone. This gonadotrophin releasing hormone is being released from the hypothalamus, and these gonadotrophin releasing hormones induce or stimulates the pituitary gland to release hormones such as gonadotrophin. So this gonadotrophin releasing hormone is inducing the pituitary gland to release gonadotrophin hormone. So this is an example of releasing hormones. And second, let's take an example of inhibiting hormone. So these are somatostatin hormones from the hypothalamus inhibit the secretions of hormones such as growth hormone from the pituitary gland. So this somatostatin hormone is an inhibiting hormone because it inhibits the production of growth hormone from the pituitary gland. Now let's discuss on the second type of endocrine gland, that is the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is located in a bony cavity just beneath the hypothalamus. This pituitary gland is divided into two parts. The first part is called as the adenohypophysis, and the second is called as the neurohypophysis. So let's first discuss on the adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis consists of two parts again. The first part is called as the pars distalis, and the second part is called as the pars intermedia. So let's first discuss on the pars distalis portion of the adenohypophysis. Pars distalis region of the adenohypophysis is commonly known as anterior pituitary, and this pars distalis secretes hormones such as growth hormones, prolactin, thyroid stimulating hormone, and some other hormones like adenocorticotropic hormones and even luteinizing hormone, etc. So let's discuss on the function of this following hormone in short. Growth hormones are released by the pars distalis portion of the adenohypophysis, and what is the function of this growth hormone is there. These growth hormone, when they are released in the required amount, they induce growth in the body of human or even the animals. So when the release of this hormone is not regulated, over secretions of this hormone will result in a disorder called as the gigantism. and even less secretion or under secretion of this growth hormone may induce a disorder called as the dwarfism. So the secretion of these hormones should also be regulated properly. Now the second functions, now the next, let's discuss on the function of the adrenocorticotrophic hormones. These adrenocorticotrophic hormones stimulates the synthesis of steroid hormones called as the glucocorticoids. And the third, let's discuss on the function of luteinizing hormones. So this luteinizing hormone stimulates the synthesis of androgen hormone from the testes in male, and the hormone such as follicle stimulating hormone stimulates spermatogenesis in male. However, in case of female, this luteinizing hormone induces ovulation, and the follicle stimulating hormone, also called as FSH, stimulates the growth and development of the ovarian follicles. So these are some of the few hormones and its function that is being released from the pars distalis portion of adenohypophysis. Now the second portion of adenohypophysis is the pars intermedia. This pars intermedia portion of the adenohypophysis secretes only one hormone called as the melanocyte stimulating hormone. Now these melanocyte stimulating hormones acts on the melanocyte cells to secrete melanin. So this melanin controls coloring in the body. Now when there is high production of melanin in the body, it induces pigmentation. Like example, in case of Negros, the skin are very dark. It is because of the high secretions of the high secretion of this melanin. But in case of like the Americans, or we call it Caucasians or the white peoples, this melanin secretion is slow, therefore they appear white skin color. So the skin color of the human body is being controlled by the melanin, and this melanin secretion is being controlled by a hormone called as melanocyte by the hormone called as the melanocyte stimulating hormones. Now we shall discuss on the second portion of the pituitary gland, that is the neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis portion of the pituitary gland is also known as the posterior pituitary, and it releases two types of hormone. The first one is oxytocin and vasopressin. Now let's discuss on the function of oxytocin. What is oxytocin? Oxytocin is a hormone which helps in softening the smooth muscles in the body, especially during the time of contraction in case of female. So in female, at the time of birth, this oxytocin acts on the smooth muscle in the uterus, and it allows and it softens the smooth muscles and allow the contractions of uterus. So this is how this oxytocin help in the birth during the time of birth. So this oxytocin is also called as birth hormone. Now the second type of hormone is the vasopressin. Vasopressin hormones act mainly on the kidney, and it stimulates the kidney to reabsorb water and thereby reduces the excess loss of water from the body during urinations. Therefore, this vasopressin is also called as antidiuretic hormone. So these are the two types of hormones. This is oxytocin and vasopressin, which are produced by the neurohypophysis portion of the pituitary gland.